Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a quick lesson I'm going to do on shooting ships in smoke, or maybe a ship that's just undetected in a cap. So, right away, I'm going to start out with a talk on situational awareness. Every little bit of information that you can uh, dig out about what's going on with the situation is going to help you with this. So it's going to start with my ship. I'm in a Khabarovsk. I have a 9.7 kilometer concealment. That's going to tell me that right away, going into the cap and dealing with the DD directly, not a good idea. So what I'm going to do positionally, I'm looking at my team deploying. It looks like they're establishing a base of fire this direction. I'm coming up here to get basically a crossfire location. Um, in the event that an enemy DD is discovered, he would be able to mitigate much of the damage from my teammates just by angling directly away. By me being up here, I create an additional threat angle to him, and he's likely to eat far more damage than he otherwise would if if he only had to angle at basically one threat angle. Basically, crossfires suck, and I know that from experience. I apologize in advance. I'm dealing with a cold right now, and this is about the 50th take I've done of this video because the dinosaurs have been driving me up the walls today, and just have not been able to get this video done, and my voice is torn up right now. So bear with me. I'm going to be muting myself frequently because I don't want to be coughing in your ear. I'm also going to be pausing the video a lot to break this down step by step to really reveal as much information as I can about this. I'm sorry if you don't like chopped up videos, but this is the only way I feel that I can explain this to you guys. So, getting back to the situation. I'm looking at the boundaries that matter. And basically when these boundaries are crossed, I am given information. So, for example, ACAP. If I see ACAP start to turn red, it's a clear indication that an enemy ship has stepped on the cap. If I have a ship that gets direct line of sight inside 9.7 kilometers of me, I will get an indication that I'm detected. Both of these are boundaries that I can use for my purposes to try to um, give me additional information about what's going on. And I'm going to break this down for you. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much locate this destroyer within a very small section of the cap based on um, basic geometry. Um, using my concealment circle when I get detected, where I get detected. Maybe I can use this island to draw a line. If I get detected as soon as I come around the island, I can start drawing lines to tell me where this DD is. From whatever point of the island that I'm detected from, I can draw a line and have a pretty firm idea DD's in this vicinity. Um, so, I'm gonna fast forward this until the moment in time the enemy DD steps on the cap, which is now. Pause. So the enemy DD started flipping the cap. That tells me that because this is the beginning of the battle, and I'm the fastest ship on the map, no DD could have come in here. So right out of the gate, I know that I can rule this out just due to time and space. Um, I can also rule out um, certain things, like probably not a cruiser that's in the cap due to my ship's already approaching a cap. If there was, a Smolensk or something, they would have spotted him getting into position. So already I'm starting to rule out ships that could be in ACAP and refining my information about, you know, my target. What's in there? Is this a fight that I want to pick? That kind of thing. And that is critical information to understand what you're getting into. For example, it would not be very conducive to having a good performance to come around this island and treat a Smolensk like I was treating the Shimakaze. It would not go well for me. So, going to continue this. Now I want you to watch my concealment circle. As I rotate south, my concealment circle is going to go south, and eventually it's going to run into the enemy DD. Bam. Okay. So that is telling me that somewhere from this line, somewhere from here over, is the enemy DD. But now we can further start refining this, because I don't think there's a DD in here, because number one, you've got proxy, uh, you've got the Smolensk that just popped his hydro, so this area is pretty much cleared out by the Smolensk hydro. So this area back here on the outside of my 9.7 kilometer circle, I there could potentially be a ship there, but it's not what's actually detecting me. So process of elimination. I know he can't be in here because Smolensk hydro is going to reach him. So I know that a destroyer is probably not sitting in the middle of ACAP. So process of elimination leaves this section of the cap right here. And I think that a DD sailed up here and went right just barely into the cap right here, and he's looking to see what's going on. And that's also telling me that this DD is not the Kleber, because in this position he would be spotted by the Smolensk. So we've refined this further down to the Shimakaze or the Z52. So I'm detect. Wow, that sucked. Okay, so I'm detected. I'm going to begin engaging the Hindenburg because I'm detected. They're gonna shoot at me. Why not get some damage back in return? Boom. Okay, that's the first notification that I have that the DD is in the location that I believe him to be at. First puff of smoke, 100%. This is the Shimakaze or Z52 because I would have spotted the Smolensk at this sort of distances before he could smoke up. So, right here, the initial puff of smoke. If you looked at this from, actually, I think I'm a little late. I think this is no, this is one puff of smoke. Um, if you look at this from the top down, this might help you kind of understand what's going on. You look at it from the top down, the smoke puff is basically shows up as a circle on the surface of the ocean. The way the smoke is deployed, the DD basically is in roughly the center of that circle when it's deployed. So when you see new puffs being rendered, you can deduce pretty accurately where that destroyer is exactly in his smoke based on, how that circle has rendered. So right away, I know that the DD was there. I'm just going to take one shot right into the center of the initial smoke screen. Maybe he just smoked up and he's sitting there. You never know. I'm basically reaching out and I'm you know reaching out and either trying to act like the shells are my fingers and I'm trying to reach into something that I can't see, or from a to put it in perspective, a active sonar. I'm sending a ping out to the center of that smoke circle, and I'm looking for any sort of return that something is inside that location. Now, we have some problems here. We know that the DD is definitely in this location. Now, is he sitting still? What's his direction of travel? If he's not, um, we can safely rule out um, him traveling in this direction, um, unless he got in here and he's already reversing. Um, but I find that to be very unlikely due to the limitations from time getting up into the cap from his spawn point. I believe that he pushed up here. He's about to be detected, and he's basically panic smoking. So we need to further hone this down. Where is this guy? What's his direction of travel? So, okay, we've got a second puff of smoke that is rendered. That is confirming uh, that this guy is traveling in this direction. Again, this was just an assumption, but now we have confirmed with the second puff of smoke he's traveling in this direction. Now, if you look, you can see little indentations. There's a little indentation right here and a little indentation right here. And if you look closely at the smoke, you can judge kind of some rough speeds on a destroyer, how fast he was traveling between the first puff of smoke and the second puff of smoke. If you see a really fast destroyer, um, under speed boost, full speed, hit his smoke, you can see these little indentations sometimes, indicating that he's basically traveled so far with his in between his puffs of smoke that the circles have started to stretch and they're making kind of um, like almost like a double like blob sort of situation as opposed to one continuous like long oval shape. So I can tell here that this guy is traveling at a pretty good clip. So what I'm going to do, uh, the middle of this second smoke screen is roughly about right here with my cursor. So I am going to take a lead inside the smoke and I'm going to open fire right here. And boom, I've located the target. For reference sake, we've done about 1.3K to the Hindenburg. I just landed, I think, 4 hits on this DD with this volley, lit a fire, got 2 base defense ribbons, and broke something on his ship. So my sonar just returned positive indication we have something right here. So I'm going to follow up on that. So I only get a little piece of him right here. That's telling me, okay, this guy's moving some more. So only get like one shell hit here. So that leaves me to try to deduce what's this guy doing. Um, is he still drifting in this direction, or has he actually stopped and started reversing? What's going on here? So my next shot, I'm going to take a more extreme lead, and I'm going to try to search this area of the smoke screen with my next shot. And the question I'm trying to answer is this guy still traveling in this direction? So you can see with that shot what I was trying to do, trying to land the shots in here, and I'm just trying to the ship can basically stick halfway outside of, almost halfway outside of the smoke. Basically, you have a center point on your DD that if you keep that center point inside the smoke screen, you can have, this entire section of your ship sticking outside of the smoke, still be able to shoot, and your ship will not render because your concealment point on your ship is behind cover or inside smoke, and it's breaking the line of sight to the enemy. This is something that a lot of ships can utilize. Des Moines, for example, can keep his concealment circle behind this rock, but stick his forward two guns out and just go nuts shooting over here. And as long as nothing can spot him from over in this direction, he's able to abuse these mechanics. These mechanics exist in the game. They're not cheating, uh, but players that understand how all of these mechanics, all of these details work, can use and exploit these mechanics for their benefit and really do some nasty, nasty things to people. So, right there, my allies. Good grief, I'm dying here. Um, my allies, they're sending me feedback that this guy might be reversing. Now, I've got a conundrum here because if these shells hit something here, we might have two things in the smoke. And with the smoke laid like this, theoretically, you could have the Smolensk push up here into the smoke. And if my shells hit here, it might not just be a destroyer in here. So I need to start thinking about an exit plan just to be on the safe side. But um, that would only be if these shells hit something back over here. Um, so we're going to take a look. Okay, those shells miss. So I'm firing back in the direction where my allies were getting hits. Uh, I'm interpreting those hits as this ship had come to a stop where I hit him initially, and now he's starting to reverse in his smoke. So just like leading any moving target, you have to lead them in the direction that they're traveling. So I am taking a lead based roughly on where I saw those last hit indicators, and I am trying to, put some shots back in here. Now that shot was a little high in hindsight, but I get a piece of him. And if you watch closely, it looked like I was shooting high still. I only got one hit on it was one of the lower shells in the pattern. So that's telling me I need to bring my shots further down because this guy isn't as deep in the smoke screen as I initially thought. So you can see I'm aiming a little down. Now we get another indicator here. He actually shot out of his smoke. So we can start deducing some more information from this. For starters, Shimakaze doesn't really shoot AP all that often. If he does, it's usually a very specific targets like a broadside gearing or something like that, where his HE will typically be ineffective. However, Z52 loves to shoot AP whenever he can get a chance and shoot, you know, semi-angled ships where his AP really can do some disgusting damage. So at this point, I'm pretty comfortable declaring that this guy is going to be a Z52. Z52 is a target that I want to engage in almost every opportunity I can because my ship punishes a Z52 that gets caught out just about any sort of engagement scenario where it's one-on-one. So again, reaching out here, I'm looking, we've got shots going out, I'm trying to line up, shots with, let's see if, there we go. I'm trying to line up the shots. Basically, I thought that this guy started sailing forward again. So I took this lead in front, and this is very common for DDs. They go a direction, they get hit, and they change direction again to try to shake your aim. So you're trying to reach in there and feel what's going on in that smoke, and he keeps slipping away. It is a good tactic to try to keep enemies from being able to consistently hit you in the smoke. But he's also shooting in the smoke, and that's also revealing a lot more information about what's going on with his ship. You can actually see that he's mostly broadside in this angle right in here. So still getting, 1-2 hits, got a couple there. Really starting to hone in on this guy. He's mostly just still in the smoke, and that's what's throwing me off those last couple volleys, is I'm only getting a piece of the bow or the stern because I keep leading this guy expecting him to be moving. And he's pretty much just, this last shot, I'm just like, this guy's just sitting still in the smoke, so I'm just going to center punch him. And, this last shot is pretty much right on. Now, my Haragumo, he's basically thrown his ship away rushing this Z52. We could have killed this guy without pushing in here to spot him. It'd just take another, 15, 20 seconds of blind fire to do it. But this shot here almost puts the Z52 down. My Haragumo finishes it up. And that's, 10k to a destroyer that's completely undetected. Now, if this DD was in a cap somewhere and you didn't have radar or anything, you can take the same situation. Say you're in a position that it doesn't matter if you get detected. Nobody really can shoot at you but this destroyer, and you're expecting to be able to defeat this destroyer in an open gunfight. It doesn't matter. Just open up and just systematically pick apart those areas in the cap where you think that this destroyer might be hiding. And I'll tell you right now that very good clans, they do this type of stuff when it comes to clan battles, King of the Sea. You're going to see that level of play where they will conduct reconnaissance by fire and try to drive an enemy DD out of the cap, particularly if they don't have radar available at that location, or even at that moment in time. Say, it's a Moskva and he's too deep to fully cover the cap. You'll have ships start blind firing into the cap to try to get resets, try to get damage on the destroyer, and in some cases I've seen significant damage dealt to destroyers in these circumstances. They try to hang in there. I'm undetected. Blah blah blah. It's not the most accurate fire in the world, like you're being shot at when you're detected. But they break your engine once. Oh, they broke your engine again. Oh, now I'm on fire. Now, and things spiral out of control. And this is definitely a tool for your toolbox that you should understand how to do these types of things if you want to play it at the highest levels that this game has. It's a nasty, nasty, dirty damn trick that I love using. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little lesson clip, whatever you want to call it. Hope my voice wasn't too terrible for you. I feel like I'm talking on through razor blades right now. Um, but if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.